Hi folks, this is Danny at Bradley James Classics, and I'm bringing you what is, believe it or not, a modern classic. Who would ever think it? A Vauxhall Vectra. This one's from 2001, March 2001. It has just 63,000 miles on the clock, and it was bought when it was exactly 1 year old from the Vauxhall Q franchise locally here in Basingstoke by the owner who's had the car all of those years, and an absolute credit to him. The car really is as good in real life as it's going to look in this video now. Full service history. It's only ever been serviced by the Vauxhall main dealer locally. In recent times it's had a new ABS pump, again fitted by the main dealer, and the service book is stamped up, plus it has all the separate invoices to show what was done. And in fact, in a minute when I open the boot, I'll show you the paperwork. Now, this particular SRI is the SRI 130. So that means it's in the region of 130 brake horsepower. In fact, it's 130 PS, which equates to about 123 brake horsepower. It's a 1.8 engine with the 16 valves. It's a 5-speed manual gearbox. The car is capable of 129 miles an hour and goes from 0 to 60 in around 9 seconds. You can do 475 miles to a tank full of petrol, and the car returns 36 miles per gallon on average, so quite respectable for a performance car. They are well loved, and the Vectra was always well regarded for being a comfortable car, which was large, an excellent driving position, and well, they just drive very, very nicely. And there's a lot of people who remember the Vectras, and they remember them with fond memories. I'm not sure how many Insignia owners are feeling about their modern cars, because I honestly believe the Vectra was probably a better car when it comes to ownership experiences. There's simply less to go wrong. They're not as complex with their warning lights and ECUs and jumping into limp mode and having all those issues. There's a lot to say for the simplicity of an older car. It's in a beautiful colour. Not sure if they call this one moonshine. I used to know the colour that this is, and I'm afraid I've forgotten it, but it's a bluey grey, and it does look lovely against the alloy wheels. It's got a great contrasting trim, which is sort of half leather seats. Let's have a little look. And as you can see, it looks very smart in here as well. The air conditioning is a little weak, but it is present. It may benefit from a recharge. There's a CD player, speakers built in. There's a display up here that tells you a few bits of information about the car. The computer works with that. And as you can see, very clean and tidy inside this car. Total credit to its owner, who looked after it very, very well. And I don't think those rear seats have actually seen much in the way of hard work. The tiniest of a leather scrub here on the bolster, which is very common with these sort of Recaro style seats, but as you can see, it's a very pleasant place to be inside. Leather trim wheel and gear knob, and very much an SRI high specification car. There's a body kit there as standard. Quality tyres. It looks like Pirelli's on the back here. They've all been checked. This car's just passed its MOT within the last few days. It went through without any advisories. And it has aftermarket parking sensors, but they work, and you know, probably better than not having them. Now I'm going to walk around the car very slowly, and I'm going to point out any imperfections I can find. So I'm going to start with this back panel. Now that really is super shiny, I can't see any damage, as with this back wing, rear spoiler. Not Minton perfection, but very close to it with the rear wheel there. Very good door here. A little parking knock here, nothing too drastic. Not marked up mirrors, excellent door, front wing, very good alloy wheel, and tyre in good condition. Same with this front bumper. I noticed there was a chip that's been touched up here, which I think you can forgive it because it is, after all said and done, hard to believe how old Vectras can be, way back in 2001. It's hard to believe that a car like this can be approaching 20 years old. But that's good news. Once you get to modern classic status, that means cheap insurance and brings the cost of running a modern car right down. Very good in the front bumper, wing and bonnet. There may be a few stone chips which have been touched up, but not many. It looks excellent. Good condition in the front mirror, no issues with the glass. Good front wheel. The upside driver's door and passenger door, excellent condition, as is the rest of this corner and back bumper. So I've given you, let's have a look at the back here as well. Right down here, we've got a little chip here, and where these parking sensors have gone in, there's a little splay there, but again, when I move away a little, they're harder to spot, but I'm getting in very, very close for those. I promised you a look in the boot. And this is always a nice sight. So 2 keys, both of those work. They're remote central locking. Service booklet is present, as is all the necessary paperwork and evidences of servicing and repairs. Huge boot. If you can see when I step back how big that is, you can also fold down a little hatch in the middle, and you can split down the seats as well. So quite a huge load, and it's nice to see that the parcel shelf is there. It's really clean under the bonnet as well. I must say the previous owner really did do a wonderful job of looking after this car. And I'm just going to walk around and show you me underneath the bonnet, because you'll see that it's a nice, dry engine. And I can't see, in fact, look at that, it's really clean, incredible. It's been really very well looked after, this car. And clean through that slam panel. Starts on the button, no issues, no fault codes. I think anyone who come to see this car and rejected it, I think would be I think they'd be very unlucky to miss out on such a superb example. I mean, actually, prices of good quality modern classic cars have been rising in recent years, so we can never be sure of what they're going to be worth in the future. But I just get the feeling that a car that presents as well as this in such a lovely colour with such low ownership, I mean, basically the owner bought it as a 1 year old and looked after it really well. So it was a network Q car, so I'm assuming that the first owners were probably Vauxhall and may have registered and kept it in the Vauxhall fleet, because companies like Vauxhall do that to help with their sales. So it is really a one-owner car. However, it's available here, 63,000 miles, full service history, just past its MOT. It drives like a dream. There's no issues at all whatsoever. When I've looked through recent spend, very recently, it has had a set of front discs and pads. It had a full clutch, and it's had an ABS pump. They're the standout maintenance and repair parts, but certainly the car is gleaming and it's ready to be enjoyed. So please make an appointment to come and see this lovely example of the Vauxhall Astra. You'll be very glad you did, and I'll be very happy to take you on a drive and let you drive this lovely car and see for yourself just how nice it really is. Well folks, thank you for watching this video of the Vauxhall Vectra from 2001, 63,000 miles, SRI 130. Danny at Bradley James Classics signing out.